Welcome to the Never Stop Getting Better podcast presented by CoxHealth. Yes, you heard that right. We've added a new partner to the show, and we couldn't be more thankful for CoxHealth stepping up as our presenting sponsor. CoxHealth is the region's leading not for profit health system, serving 25 counties through six hospitals and over 100 clinics, with more than 14,000 dedicated employees committed to keeping our community healthy and close to home. We're proud to have them behind this show. Now, let's get into the show. Thank you, Cox Health. Welcome back to the Monday Mojo. Are there any Cox Health fans listening? I'm a Cox Health fan, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm so thankful for the presenting sponsor that they have signed up for. And the partnership is that, I just want to make the podcast better. And I know that, I went into a partnership with someone that is going to add value. I think today's message, I think Cox Health stands for today's message. I'm going to get away from the storytelling just for a minute, although there'll be a couple of stories in this. I want to talk to you about the power of caring. And I'm going to tell you where this was first put on my mind. This past week, I interviewed for the podcast. It'll be a month or two before it comes out. The rifle coach at Army West Point. I met her at the Human X Summit. Her and I did a breakout session together. It was phenomenal. So I've gotten to know her a little bit. Her name is Leighton Dempster Mady. Okay, so she's just newly married. So she's figuring out this married thing life. But we had a great podcast. And throughout the whole podcast, as I always do, I always get a nugget. There's always something that just sticks in my head from every interview that I've ever done. And this was a question that I posed to her. You've been an All American collegiate athlete, like a great high school athlete, goes to Memphis, three-time All American. Now she's coaching one of the most successful rifle teams at Army West Point, right? One of the leading leadership organizations in America, right? And I said, of all the coaches you've ever had, is there one that sticks out to you? Is there one that comes to mind first? And she didn't hesitate. She said, yes, my high school strength coach. And I said, why? She simply said, because he cared about me. And man, it just hit me like a ton of bricks, right? Like, of all the coaches she's had, all these collegiate, all these, and she said her high school strength coach because he cared about her. The power of caring is crazy. People may forget what you taught them, but they will never forget how deeply you cared about them. Now, let me go on record as saying, man, I mess this up all the time. I can be one of the first ones to get so caught up on trying to get better that you put the caring part on the back burner, right? Like, but I can promise you this. I think life and I think your business and I think your team flips when you flip the script on, it's all about the game, the business, the whatever, to it's all about the people, right? And people know, everybody listening right now knows the people in your life that truly care about you. You know who they are. And you feel differently about the people that truly care about your life. Now, I had this happen this week. I got to go back to Mississippi to, do a presentation for the football coaches, and it was phenomenal. And to be honest with you, I told my wife last week I agreed to do that on January the 13th. Well, when July rolls around, I don't really want to go because, man, life is busy. I'm busy. We're practicing. We've got our team rolling. I've got different things. We got to go to Michigan for our son. Like, I'm just getting selfish and I don't want to go. Well, obviously, I signed up to go, so I got to go. So we go. And from that, like there were so many blessings. Okay. And now let me give you a couple of the blessings. Number one, I call chapter 15 in the book Bobby Hall, one of my mentors, and I say, are you going to the clinic? And he's like, the only way I would go to the clinic is if you came to my house, picked me up, dropped me off at the door, picked me up at the door, and took me back to the house because parking is atrocious. It's an all sports clinic. So every coach in the state of Mississippi's there, right, at a hotel. So parking is awful. And I said, well, coach, I can't do that. I said, I was just wondering if you were going because I'm speaking 10 o'clock Thursday. He said, I'll be there, right? Like the power of caring and the power to show up. He showed up because he cared about me, period. Now, let me tell you what happens because he showed up. At the conclusion of my talk, we had a young fella. I say young fella, he's not a young fella no more, but he's a young guy that we coached at Northeast Community College in 2000 and 2001, somewhere around that. 25 years ago, we coached this young man whose nickname was Krispy Kreme. Now, I probably gave him that name because I'm terrible with names and whatever comes to my head, I just kind of make it up. So, anyway, this guy comes up and he says, do you remember who I am? And I'm like, I'm terrible. He said, well, maybe this will trigger you. Krispy Kreme. And I'm like, oh, I remember Krispy Kreme. And so this is, I mean, we talk, there's a lot of people, coming up, and it's an awesome experience, right? Like my mentor's on the front row, and I got all these friends and it's great, okay. But then, I wake up the next morning to this text. It says, Coach, seeing you and Coach Hall meant everything to me. I am not the man I am today without you two. To be honest, I don't think I'm alive today without you two. When I said y'all saved my life, I meant every word of it. Again, just want to say thank you. I look forward to talking to you again, right? Look, the power of caring, the power of showing up. I would have no idea had I not showed up at the clinic. I would have no idea if Coach Hall would have no idea if that made the entire trip, right? Like just knowing now what he's went on to do is serve in the Army for 20 years, do several different stints in Afghanistan or, whatever, and is now coaching high school football. The power of caring. Sometimes, man, we get so caught up in the product, the business, the end result, right? The goals, the money, the win, like whatever. Man, if we don't care about the individual, we are 100% missing the boat. The power of caring. I think it was Theodore Roosevelt who said, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. If you want to flip the script on your business, then care about your employees. If you want to flip the script on your team, care about your team. I've oftentimes told our coaches that there's a time when you sometimes have to coach kids hard. And when I say coach kids hard, you have to get on them. And all right, there may be times when you got to get on your employees. But I believe this, and I've told coaches this, like, if you don't have a relationship with that kid, you do not have the right to get on that kid. So if you are the defensive line coach and you see an offensive lineman do something, I don't really think you have the right just to bless them out if you don't have a relationship with them. Like if somebody knows you care, man, you can coach them as hard as you want to coach them. If you praise them and you love them and you care about them, when it comes time to correct them, they have no issue. They want to please because they know you care about them. I think caring is a game changer. And look, I have no idea what our record was at Northeast Community College the year that Krispy Kreme played with us. No idea. I couldn't tell you, 10 things about that season. I couldn't tell you a football score. I couldn't tell you, and for him to remember that we gave him a chance to walk on and be a part of the team and what it meant to him tells you that we at least made him feel important. Now, we may not have made everybody feel important, right? Because, we mess that up all the time. But, like if you want to make a difference in this world, care about somebody, right? Like ask them something about themselves, man. Like we all walk around 99.99% of the time, we walk around thinking about who? Ourselves. Everybody's thinking about themselves, right? Can you stop and can you honestly take a liking to and an interest in somebody else, right? They know there's a difference between investing in somebody and honestly just using them for a product, right? Like they know that. And in my life, I feel like our teams flipped when we started investing in the kids because we love them. Can you care about them? Can you believe them? And can they believe in you, right? Like if they know you believe in them, they know that you stayed after practice a little bit. They know that you called them after graduation. They know that you showed up for them. They know that you let them come into your house and hang out and eat supper one night, right? When they know you care, the sky's the limit. And there's too many of us get caught up in the rat race of life, man, where, it's about us, it's about me, it's about thinking about, man, we got to think about other people than ourselves, right? Like, I don't know if anybody's ever really thought about this, but we're not going to outlive life, right? Like, we are going to move on from this world at some point in time. And all of the things that we think we want in this world, that may be of the worldly possession type is not going to go with us. Like, what do you want your friends, your family, your coworkers, your employees to say about you, right? Like, what do you want them to say about you when you're not around? Do you care about them? I think it's something that we all can double down and care about one more person today, right? It doesn't matter who it is. Stop. Just take a moment. Say, how's your life? How's your family? Do you know their kids' names? Right? Do you ask about life outside of whatever? Sometimes, man, like we only see others through our perspective. So if someone's not like us, we want to cast shade on them, right? Like shame on us. Everybody's not like us, right? Now, we can invest in other people. And when we do stop for a minute and try to care about somebody, sometimes we figure out why people act like they act. All behavior can be explained. All behavior can be explained, right? There's an explanation for all of it, good, bad, or indifferent. When somebody acts bad at school, what do? Sometimes we just belittle. We talk about them behind their back. We talk, in little circles about little Johnny's, man, he's just terrible. Have you ever stopped to ask little Johnny, like, why are you sleeping in class? Have you ever spent time with him one on one? Like, why are you so tired? Like, what's home life like? What are you doing at night? What are you, like, sometimes, man, we just got to care. We got to care more, right? And understand that the power of everything we want in this life will be multiplied by caring about other people. It is what it is. Love and care. And you will see all types of things blossom. And you know what? You will never know the influence you have on other people, right? You'll never know that because a lot of times me and Coach Hall would have never known, right? Never known that we don't go back there, do the clinic. He comes to the clinic, like you just never know the influence that you have on other people for caring about them, right? Just for caring, just invest a little bit, right? So I hope this has been worth it for you. Like I think that it was a lesson for me because I am just like you. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be aware. I know I need to care more on a daily basis. So let's all go care more today. If you need anything from me, don't hesitate. You got my cell phone number, you got my email. Until next time, adios, amigos.